Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this week's Thankful to Thrive Thursday, which I admit I have mixed it up for the first time in a couple weeks. And I'm actually recording this the night before, which is Wednesday night. And I have been led to be recording it on Tuesday evenings because my Wednesday, I usually end up spending time with Soul Family, which includes my 2-year-old love bug. Oh my God. And she's like the best kind of drug, right? The best kind of drug. But yesterday, Tuesday, was very bizarre. The energies were exhausting. They really were exhausting. And they seemed heavy. You know, obviously, most likely I'm not going to be able to pinpoint why, because we are definitely talking collectively as well. It wasn't just my shit. And me, I am Rochelle Richard. Welcome to Empowerment Experiences, where we look for and find our power all along that which is our self-love empowerment journeys. And for so many of us, that's a self-love empowerment journey on steroids, because we are also healing twin flames on this journey. And I want you to take a moment, Goddess, and honor yourself. Honor the master that you already are. Because the fact that you are a twin flame, I'm just gonna say it, that is some next level shit, sister. And you're doing it. Look at you. It may hurt like a mofo. I don't know the last time I said it that way, but but it might. And it does. It's excruciating. It's even at times debilitating. I know. But that's the point. Look at you. You're fucking doing it. And you're getting stronger and stronger with each passing day. And so really, truly, Goddess, the one who is the biggest challenge is yourself. It's not your counterpart. Even though, even I admit, again, in this really bizarre space, like it felt weird yesterday. It was weird and it was exhausting. Like such that around lunchtime, I think around it was, I ended up I was working at the computer, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm done on the computer. I can go sit on the couch with especially my little kitty girl, and schedule posts, start writing out those. And that I do right on my phone. So I was still getting things done that I needed to get done. And it was like 2 or 3 hours later, I got so much, because I can get into my zone. And sometimes you'll notice on my posts, especially on Instagram, you will notice that on the days or the posts especially that inspire me to share even more, to the days where it's just like 1 or 2 words, or maybe even an emoji, or perhaps it's what we call in the biz my call to action, my hey, guess what, I have this resource that can help you. Hey, guess what, I have this awesome 7-day self-love empowerment challenge, twin flame edition, to empower you in your journey. That's what I definitely have other things aside from these empowerment messages, which I do love so much. And I know there are several of you out there who also as well, and look forward to these. And for you, I am so infinitely grateful. I'm so grateful for you. I could say that I do this for me, but I gotta admit, there would be some days where I wouldn't show up probably. I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do it today. But knowing that I'm not just doing it for me, right? It's that extra little, especially after, again, the two, because today was a little, it was interesting. It wasn't as odd as yesterday, but that was the thing. Oh, so I fell asleep. Let me finish my story. So I fell asleep yesterday. I don't know what time. I think I remember seeing 4:30. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up. It was dark out. I thought it was like 10:30. I'm like, oh geez, I gotta go brush my teeth and do my nighttime stuff. And I just realized I didn't start my timer. Oh, so that I know, all right, I'm at 5.5 minutes because of the length of time per file. It's a thing. So I wake up, I come in to, do my bathroom thing, and I look, and it was only 7:30, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it is this dark already. So completely threw me off. And perhaps that's what some of this energy, this intensity has been the past 2 days, is a major shift has happened. Just a major fucking shift has just happened. It's just, and not just in me, I mean collectively, something has shifted somewhere. And this morning, just again, a little off, but it was my coffee shop day, so I got to go get one of my new kind of drugs, because remember, I'm I guess you could say I'm a recovered addict. I mean, to me it was a coping thing, and I haven't had a need to cope like that in a while, so I don't really consider myself that. But then again, I suppose my biggest addiction is sugar. Baked goods especially. I mean home baked goods. I don't really buy candy or, oh my goodness, focus, Rochelle. Welcome to Rochelle's little bubble. Like I said, it's been bizarre these past couple days, but best part of my day was my love bug, her mama, and her love bug's big sister. Yeah, 14. She's 14. Yeah, so it was fun. They got a little. Would they get hamster? A little hamster. It's not a, yeah, it's a hamster. They got, oh, focus. Anyway. So, however, I can feel that things were shifting in me. And finally, because the love bug did not want Auntie Shell to leave. And that's so challenging to walk away from. Oh my gosh, I'm sure if you love children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And but I knew, not just for recording this video, but I knew for me that it was time, I needed to go. And sure enough, I barely started driving down the road, and it was not that I was listening to a sappy song. I wasn't. What was I even? I definitely was not listening to a sappy song. It was like a twerking hip-hop booty shaking thing, I think. I mean, like, I wasn't even tuned into it, obviously. I don't know, and it's really not like me, but it wasn't very far down the road, and I was in meltdown mode, and I was going through the human emotions that we've come to experience. And doesn't it so often have to make this stop, shall we say, even though beneath the surface it is not directly correlated to your counterpart, but how interesting that that's so often where our mind takes us. When the pain starts to make itself known, you go there, even though technically there's a whole lot of undershit here. Because you want this, but in order to, you gotta get beneath the surface. Oh, that is clearly why Thankful to Thrive Thursday message needed to wait until this evening. And I had to go through these past 2 days of some, like I said, both bizarre and intense energies these past 2 days. And I feel better. I'm tired. I'm not going to deny that, but I feel aligned and definitely ready to do this empowerment message here. Oh my goodness. And I just looked down and it is 7:17. 7:17. Now, part of why I had already started this video before really getting into this message here is that I was going to share with y'all that when I sat down, I had, and I took a screenshot of it, I had 74% battery at 704. All right, and since 0 amplifies whatever numbers it's with, I go with looking up the 704 because it's going to give me 70 and 4 when I look it up. Especially again, 74%, 704. So I had looked that up right before I started recording this video. And so I wanted to share. So right now, and 704 is definitely not in this bag. I just want to, and I know for certain I do not have a 704 square. Info square, message square. Ooh, I like that better. Message square, because that's what they are. They're messages for you. And I will get one, but that meant that of course I had to look it up. So right now we have 704 and 717 as numbers for this Thankful to Thrive message, because right now, here's the thing, is like I said, these past 2 days, I sure as shit did not feel like I was thriving. And so I share that with you, Goddess, so that you know that when I say I feel you, you know I mean it. This is why I have, things created from my perspective, because I know what it is to discover you're a twin flame. As someone who didn't even believe in the concept, except that it was self-love. So I just kind of was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, whatever. And went on about my life. And then again, I was, self-love empowerment coach. And I was in such a state of self-love empowerment that my bat signal was pretty bright. And poof, there he came. Flip my lens tray over. And it was 9 months later. It was 9 months later. You grow and birth a life in that time. And that's when I finally was in that space to be open and see all the connections. And all of a sudden, the twin flame thing came from the most random place. So it definitely up-leveled my self-love empowerment journey. Like I said, it's on steroids now, baby. So that said, 704. 704. I'm not sure if there was somewhere else I was going with all of that, but I went. I hope you came along on that little journey with me. 704 and 717. 704, symbol of the exuberance of life, which would be one of the messages that if you're not really living life as though you are alive, if you're just going through the motions, that's not being exuberant. It's being lively and alive in your life. And if you're just going through the motions, you can't get any of these moments back that pass. And it's incredible how we keep ourselves in this perpetual state of suffering, right? When it's one thing to allow yourself to feel through that pain and come out on the other side and love yourself and, hold that space for yourself. Allow yourself to express those emotions, to have that meltdown. Oh my gosh, it was an intense cry on the way home. Yeah. But then I went to go check the mail, and for the first time, and this neighbor, they moved in a couple years ago now, but they have this little dog, a lot like my old Pookie Bear. My old Pookie Bear, she passed almost 4 years ago now, right after my brat pack. And I just want to say thank you for following me along on this little story. And all of a sudden I hear a young kid holler, Ollie or something, and I look and there's this little, like I said, like mine was a Bishopoo, Scottish Terrier, so this little Shih Tzu kind of poodle-ish dog comes, just beelines it straight towards me. He had his eyeball on me. And he just sprints straight out of the garage, across down their driveway and across the street. I'm like, watch out, baby. Luckily, nobody was coming, totally protected by the angels. And he just comes running straight up to me as though he had known me forever. I never met this little doggy in my entire life. But that precious little pooch, he knew I needed that kind of a message, because he sure did. His little human parent, Miles is the kid's name, maybe 12-ish. You know, I was like, it's okay, I love dogs. And sure enough, this little Ollie was the dog's name, was, you know, giving me like little kind of like butterfly kisses with eyelashes. They do it with their little nose, right? They don't quite lick you, but they, yeah. And he was just, it was like we were longtime pals. It was random, but it wasn't. Because that's the thing, Goddess, nothing is random. Nothing is random. So 704. Where was it? Where was that? Oh, you should acknowledge the divine presence in your life. And these numbers ask you to be brave. You need to face every situation with courage. Right, with courage. And I thought there was something about fighting. Yeah. Wants you to be committed to your personal causes and determined to achieve your goals and aspirations. Yeah. That said, dear Goddess, 704 and 717, which is that twin flame union number, among other meanings, other messages to that. Why don't we, yes, go ahead and start with referencing that for a moment, because I always just love how these things affirm each other. You already know, trust yourself, right? Current coming new beginnings and opportunities bring alignment with soul purpose and mission. Strong union for twin flames. Follow your intuition. Be aware of the words you speak and how you are being. You create your reality. This is definitely something that is very important to be aware of. This is why you don't stay in that. Now, we often will ask ourselves, oh my God, am I messing something up by going through this weird, feeling off, feeling, you know, I'm sobbing, bawling my eyes out? No, that's the block. That's the shit that you have to walk through as you are continuing your journey towards your manifestation. You have to walk through the fire to get to that pot, that freshly burned pot. It's on the other side, right? You gotta go into the fire to get the pot. The potter's pot. All right? And you come out fresh, brand new, strong. Anyway, I'm just having this whole thing. Like I said, it's been a weird couple of days. And oh, how could I have spaced that? New moon? New moon, anyone? Definitely interesting new moon energies. Things are very interesting with where my counterpart and I are. It's, what am I saying? This entire journey is. And so I can very well imagine that you, dear sweet goddess, are experiencing the same. Because you see, as we were talking about last week, and actually for several weeks, if you've been, we collectively, Divine Feminines, have been on this transformations, and so have the Divine Masculines, this transformation journey through a rebirth, right? We got sirens going, amplifying this, a rebirth. And with that baby snake, so you got to check out the, beginning of last week or the week before, time, the baby snake, symbolic of being born, but now you are expanding into, stepping into this version of yourself. Who is this person who is in union with your divine counterpart? Who is this person that is living the life of your dreams? How do you feel? How do you show up? How are you feeling and thinking when you're with your counterpart? What does a healthy relationship really look like between the two of you? Have you taken time to actually get clear on this? Or are we still reliving the past? And that's, again, this whole Thankful to Thrive Thursday. I feel why these past 2 days took the path that they did, and I'm bringing this message to you tonight instead of last night, is because this which we are going through, Goddess, we are growing through. And that we must go through this in order to grow through it. Otherwise, we just stay the way we are. But here's where our power lies. I mean, we have to go through it. We're here to grow. We're here to learn, grow, expand, and ascend. But where your power lies is in, what are you focusing on? What are you giving your attention and energy to? What are you creating? Are you perpetuating the past, or are you creating the future? Are you creating this, what's coming next, and being in the state of vibration of the experience that you would prefer to be experiencing? What would you, if you could feel anything, Goddess, what would you feel? If you could choose to feel anything, joy, love, abundance, delight, any of those things, what would that be? And then what things can you think about to empower you to feel that way? Well, this is upside down, which tells me that, number one, you're not playing, right? You're taking life a little too seriously. You have put your inner child in a timeout, in the sense that she doesn't get to come out to play, so now she's probably, oh, wow. That's my little alarm for hauling out my trash, because I don't haul it every week, it's just me. So, wow. And the song is Living in the Moment. Living my life. And it has very much the attitude of that child, is I'm living my life the way I want. I'm living in this moment right now. And so clearly, this message right now is that you're being called out, Goddess. You are being called out. You are not giving that inner child the attention enough. And so what's happening is she's acting out through self-sabotage, depriving yourself, beating yourself up, punishing yourself. Even by way, and this is all of a sudden what I'm hearing in my mind, even by way of beating yourself up about the way things are with your counterpart, you've just got the message from him recently. We all did, right? We all got the message from him to be taking time to play, to be having fun, making time for fun. And this is the thing, because I saw this in myself. I saw this in myself today, Goddess. Again, calling. If we're getting called out, I'm calling shit out here. So today with my love bug, I was only about 60-70% present. Like, I wasn't fully embodying the joy of playing with her. We were chasing each other. We were doing somersaults, and after you did a somersault, it was huggies. It was hug, yay, we did it. Oh my gosh, and lovin's, and she's not called my love bug for nothing, okay? those moments I was definitely present. So that I was definitely, but the playing time, my mind kept wanting to go, you know, you have work to get done. You need to go and record this video first of all. And it, like I already said, I love recording these, but man, my self-sabotaging mean girl can take the fun out of everything. I mean, like I said, she was doing it, or I was obviously doing it to myself. That's what it is, right? Our inner mean girl, our inner child throwing her tantrum was blocking the full capacity of joy and love that and delight that is playing with one of the most precious, like the most precious 2-year-old love bug in my world. She'll even correct me if I call her by her name, which I do here and there, but more and more she's very much, because she's very outspoken now, more and more and more, she will tell me, I love Bug. She will make sure that I call her by that which I have pretty much always called her, my love Bug. And that she is. So, let's calling my shit out. Your turn, goddess. Your turn, goddess. In what ways are you denying your inner child? In what ways are you not allowing yourself to have fun, to not fully experience the depths of that experience? Because again, remember, when you come into union with your counterpart, what do you want it to be like? I mean, this twin flame connection has the unlimited capacity to create an energetic state so amplified that, oh my goodness, to be anything but fully embodied in the present moment with your counterpart is, such a, there's a word like disrespect is one word that's coming to me, but such a disgrace to this connection. And that's the point, is that this connection is to teach us where we must be expanding this love within us, rather than resisting it or denying ourselves. Because that is definitely the thing about animals and young children, babies. They love unconditionally. And they will love you even when you hurt them. Because they only want to be loved. And so they love without condition. And it's on us to be fully present. It is on us to acknowledge this lesson that only a child can teach us. And this includes that hurt and wounded child within yourself that just wants to have fun a little more often. And then she won't be so mean. I promise. Love her more. And then she won't have a reason to be so angry. Whew. So, you're getting called out by, well, the DM, and because we be calling out their shit, don't we? We be calling it out because we're seeing, we're using it to see that reflection within ourselves. So of course we be calling out their shit because we need to use it to be revealing ours. Wow, I think maybe I have received so much of the message tonight without the need for these cards, and I'm all right. Let's see what we have. These cards have not been so outspoken lately. Okay then. They actually have quite a bit to say tonight then. And look what lights you up, which right here, I am so grateful. I'm so blessed to have this child and the 4-year-old boy, which we play a little rough. It's wonderful and amazing. However, my love bug, she's that total, again, it'll just be so random. And she'll just say, I love you, Shell. I love you. Hey, Shell. And you say, what? And she'll say, I love you. Just out of the blue. Again, she is not called Love Bug for nothing. And the little dude too, they just light up. They just light up just to spend time with you. The 4-year-old boy that I watch when mom comes home after a long day at the salon, he'll actually tell her, Mom, you can go back to work. And I'm just like, dude, no. It's like, we have fun, but don't. Because I do. I have. I'm just not super close with my karmic family, but I have 2 brothers very close in age. So I grew up almost like one of the boys. So it's very easy for me to get to this 4-year-old's level. Oh, sorry. I just hit the mic. Sorry. So what I feel is why so much talk about children and puppies or doggies is you undoubtedly have some way that you can, or know someone who has a dog or a child, or maybe going to a create and paint studio, allowing your inner child to come out. This is why I love babysitting the 4-year-old. I love watching and spending time with my love bug, because my inner child is getting so much more play. But that's the point though, is being able to see that I'm not allowing myself to be fully embodied in that, which is showing me in myself how, if I'm not fully embodying here, then I am certainly not fully embodying with my counterpart, with my connection. I have blocks, I have resistance, right? I have something that is keeping me from fully enjoying this, from fully taking delight and allowing my light to shine, allowing for me to become illuminated, right? Oh my, jeez, boom. As I was saying, this is what it is. The blocks, the patterns, the contracts, your past lives. You are healing all your shit in this life. And when you can be able to observe yourself, to really be claiming your power, not giving it away to anything outside of you, no fear of some story that something's gonna kill you, no fear, no fucking fear. Because that is tied to trauma, that is tied to a wound, an association of something that is disempowering, because there is nothing ever empowering about fear. And I just looked down and it was 444. So we have 704, 717, and 444. We're going to look 444 up in a momentito. The little 4-year-old boy, he now says that because I don't know where it came from. I just started saying it one day, just whatever, momentito. I digress. But right now we are clearing out so much in this life, so much. And this is a lot of it, because children, one of my all-time favorite, because I always believed in his innocence, thank you very much. And I'm not looking for a debate if you believe otherwise, I'm just pointing this out. But Michael Jackson, I just knew so long ago when he grew up, but yet it was like he never grew up. It didn't take much for me to put 2 and 2 together and go, well, but if he was working from like the age of freaking 4 or 5 and never really got to be a child. He did not get to actually grow through vital phases of life. So it kind of remained in him, this unspent, like, I'm thinking of like this, like a superpower or something, like, you know, where it just feeds into you and, oh, you have this whole experience. Maybe even like a hallucinogenic thing, like, you know, right? But he didn't get to have that. So he was almost perpetually childlike, because he didn't get to actually expend that or cash in that facet of his journey. You know what I mean? Yeah, I pray you do. I intend for you to. But this is what is up, Goddess. This is the exact reason why you are not able to be fully embodied in your experience. And that's the thing with this twin flame journey, to really truly be thriving in not just the twin flame journey, but in just your own self-love empowerment journey. You have to be fully embodied in your power, in your knowing, in your truth, an anchor of the light, an amplifier of the love, which means you've got to be tuning into what lights you up. You've got to be connecting with that inner child, removing these blocks that keep you from that fully embodied space. So you take that leap. It is, you've got to go first. You've got to go first. You know, it's no different than the little young child who is jumping off of the edge of the pool for the first time into the pool. It's no different than, and that's just where you are. It's no different than, you know, riding your bike for the first time riding it for the first time even with training wheels. So right now, that's kind of where you are on this rebirth space, and this new you that you are expanding into is you do have training wheels, so to speak, Goddess. You have spiritual training wheels right here. As you are getting your balance, right? Getting your bearings and continuing to shift into this newly transformed version of you, empowered and confident and strong and trusting in her journey and her gifts, and unbending in her worth and her integrity. Really recognize that this is what is happening here. It is in no way that you are not good enough. It's that the true you, that truly empowered you, is just buried beneath all these bullshit stories and lies that tell you that you're not good enough, that block you from really fully savoring this moment, being fully, completely, 100% present without thinking about any fucking thing else, that you are fully embodied in your body because you are not afraid to be in your body. You trust yourself. So, universe has got you. And it's waiting on you. So stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Some of the things that you may be thinking about, like for me, rollerblading, I'm like, oh, I really gotta go rollerblading. I mean, I am not gonna deny or confirm that I may or may not even consider going out rollerblading after I am done with this, because it takes a momentito to put the two videos together, because again, that's the thing about the file size, why I do have to blend the videos together. My devices only record like 30 to 35 minutes. And then it's time to upload, and especially when I upload to YouTube, there's the upload time plus the processing time. So there is a bit of time. So I just might. But it's recognizing that that falls into this category of lighting me up, of playing, because I really have enjoyed, I do like to rollerblade. And I'm loving starting to learn Hindi, even though I'm still only on my second lesson, 5 days into it. But I have been, speaking it here and there when when it crosses my mind. I can say like, my name is Rochelle, or I am Rochelle, not my name is, I am Rochelle. It's kind of fun, especially drawing the characters, but I digress. You are being asked to, and remember, the Divine Masculine has already paid a visit to tell us this. So, who is the one standing in your way? So stop overthinking it. Now that we have journeyed through those messages, let us, one more here, 444. Just as I was saying, right? The training wheels. Listen, archangels are around you. You are not alone. You are deeply loved and fully supported. Right now, oh my goodness, look, clear the blocks and take inspired action for your vision. And 444 is the powerful angelic love frequency. Again, the embodiment, embodying love, which means you've got to allow yourself to feel it. You've got to allow yourself to feel that joy, to feel that when it's challenging, right? When you've had a shitty day and you're just not in the mood. You feel like things are not going your way, you're unsure, you're uncertain, you may be exhausted, which that's often how so many of us fall into that victim mentality, right? Fall into that lower vibrational state is because we're tired. So we have low energy, which equals a lower vibrational state, right? Often, not always, but so often, okay, right? That when she says, I love you, Shal, that it can be challenging at times, especially those times, to really embody that which she speaks, and that which I know with every ounce of my soul is so true and unconditional. You have amazing power within you, shifting into and experiencing different dimensions. Well, what was I saying about yesterday and today, huh? Yesterday and today, it has been very bizarre, and like I said, something has shifted, something happened, and really, quite honestly, with everything going on, I'm okay not knowing. It's really getting to the place of, again, letting go of where your power is not. My power is in the work that I need to be doing within myself, right? Just as you as well. And this is where we are right now, is that inner child work. That's why the Divine Masculine, because you see, he has intense inner child wounds, especially the way it relates to his dad, right? What his relationship or lack of, the dynamics of with his dad, and even, of course, in a way with his mom, who may have perhaps been more that victim, the wounded feminine, right? And that can definitely feed the wounded masculine in the Divine Masculine, right? In his ego space. And so this is why, as Divine Feminines leading this connection, it is so important to allow yourself to express the hurt, the anger. And remember, anger is unexpressed grief that had no place to go and finally just built up so intensely. I mean, I actually said something in the Goddess Tribe on Telegram, which is a free group. By the way, I will put the link down below so you can come join us. Oh, that's not what I want. I need. And anger, let's see. Anger is just grief wearing a mask. extreme sadness that needed a way out after being trapped for so long. Anger often becomes the explosive path of least resistance, blasting its way through the blockade. And this is where we are, Goddess. This is why you may find yourself a little more irritable, a little more short-tempered, and thus in turn, even more drained. In addition to what is happening with you and in you and through you right now. That said, Thankful to Thrive Thursday, we know the DM likes to make his appearance here and there. And so let us see what he may have to say, because I really do just have a feel with these cards. So, do we have messages from, well, we got them. Let's see if any more that we need to include with the starters. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't flip, did it? No. Oh, that was a close one. All right. And I know I did like one more, but boom, one more. All right. First and foremost, flexibility. Goddess, this is definitely to stop being so limited with yourself, with keeping even your divine masculine in the same box that he once was. He is not the same man. He is going and growing just like you. You are not the same woman that you were when y'all first met. You are not the same woman that you were even 6 months ago. This is why my video, Release the 3D Perception of Your DM, you've got to stop reliving the past. This is why the past is perpetuating, is because the past that you've got to be tuning into is that inner child within yourself, those wounds from that past, not the more recent that has been happening with your divine counterpart. That's just surface, that's surface shit. What he has done, or she, divine masculine, whichever form for you in your connection, that said, it is about, here's this comfort zone, here's what's familiar, here is the same old story that you keep perpetuating, thinking that you have power over what's already happened, but you don't. The more you stay attached to the story of who your divine masculine used to be, because this is what he's asking of you. This willow spirit, oh my gosh, you know, just flow, just blowing in the breeze, blowing in the breeze. Right now, both counterparts, again, are on this journey, this highly transformative journey. And when you two come back together in this physical realm, you, neither one are one going to be, but two are supposed to be the same person that you were. There's healing that's happening on this journey here. So allow for that healing and allow for the constricting perspective of that which already was. Keep you from expanding into that which is certain to be. Because in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. But you've got to allow it to flow. And remember, you're the one leading this connection. And so the more you focus on how much you're letting go, how much you are releasing, again, rewriting who is your divine counterpart, who is your divine masculine, not the wounded masculine that you have come to know so well. Guide him. Guide him, goddess. What do you see when you see in him? Because they're the same characteristics that you're going to see in you when you really allow yourself to see. You're kind, you're loving, you're attractive, you're supportive, you're smart, you're easy to love. And so clearly, that's what he's definitely asking as well. Is to be flexible in loving yourself. Because right now, this is what both are working on. This healing, this transmutation of the darkness within each of us. And in turn, the darkness in this world that is the evil darkness. Not the darkness that is the contrast simply for our teaching, but I'm talking the evil, the trauma, the abuse. Even the misguided templates, the upside down templates of the collective of what love is, of what relationships are, of what joy, acceptance, compassion, all these things. You have to be the embodiment. Again, that's very, very clearly what this Thankful to Thrive message is it being fully embodied, being fully anchored in this experience, because it is what your soul desires. And that's the amplified journey, it seems, again, the self-love empowerment journey on steroids being the twin flame journey, is to have a desire, a greater desire and perhaps greater capacity to fully embody unconditional love and joy and acceptance and eagerness and exuberance for life. Because life has a longing for life. Life lives to be lived. And when we live in our fears and our doubts and our boxes, we don't ever experience a greater capacity than what can be held in that tiny little box. So it's time for a change. It's time to change the depth and capacity to which you allow yourself to fully experience your experience that you have chosen to come experience. To be present like an innocent child who has not the concerns and worries and fears that we take on with each passing year. It's time to let go of all of that, because those are the things that block you from fully embodying not just the joy and such, but the love of your counterpart. You see, he can't fully embody it if you don't. Remember, you're the leader here. And if you're telling stories that he's not with you, he's never going to be with you again, or that he feels so far away, he feels so distant, he's not talking to me, any of the things that are perpetuating the reality that you really don't want to be experiencing, that are actually putting a distance, a block between you and what you desire, that it's dimming your light, that you're feeling discouraged and down. Your counterpart loves you. But in order for you to fully know this and him to fully know this, you have to allow yourself to fully know this, which means to fully embody it. Well, there's the joy right there. This is exactly what we got going on here. Is embodying the joy of this life, the exuberance of life. To be exuberant is to be in a state of joy. See how freaking beautifully aligned that we got 704. We have had 704, 717, and 444, which, that being said, I'm not at all being led to pull more numbers, because we now have three. Joy. And in order, remember, the only way to union with your twin is through coming home to union within, through anchoring into your joy, anchoring your light, embodying the love, being the love. Because that is your bat signal. Otherwise, well, it's like an old lighthouse that doesn't light. Or with very, very dirty windows. It's time to wash the windows, Goddess, and let your light shine. And this again means to allow yourself to fully experience the good parts in this life, because especially if you are allowing yourself, and I'm sure it's much easier to allow yourself to experience the not so good things when you're in that space and you're angry and you're feeling discouraged, and this needs to come out, right? It needs to be expressed. You must feel that space created. Expand joy. Because remember, the state of being that your divine counterpart needs you to be in order to be pulled back to you is joy, is unconditional love. And joy is actually a higher frequency than love is, Goddess. Joy is a higher frequency than love. But it's about embodying that. And that is exactly where we are with this Thankful to Thrive Thursday message. Is in order to truly shift into thriving, you've got to allow yourself to feel the joy of life, the exuberance of life. Experience all that life has to offer, not just the shitty end of the stick. What timing for that train. Oh, that is so great. So toot toot, Goddess, that's exactly it. It is time for you to toot your own horn, to shine your light, to show this world who you are, and to be the joy, to be wow. That legit is like one of the longest constant note from the train horn. Yeah, allow yourself, okay? All right, and then stay consistent, coming clearly, right? Stay, because it wasn't just it was stay consistent in allowing yourself, right? Continue to allow for that love to be expanded, continue to allow for that healing to be taking place with that inner child inside you, so she stops sabotaging you and, well, actually allows herself to feel this joy. Because I bet you that almost sounds like there's possibly 2 trains. I'm not sure if it's as loud for you as it is for me, but that is, yes indeed, pretty loud. And it oh, just toot toot. Gotta toot your horn. Just saying. All right, for real, seriously, for real. Shine your light. Allow yourself. That's what I was saying before. It really amplified that. How much you want to bet that 25%, that block that's keeping you from fully embodying in that moment and feeling that joy, that's the inner child. So afraid to fully let go. Because she's afraid there's nobody there to catch her if she falls. Just like it feels in this twin flame journey. That you fell and he wasn't there to catch you. That's just what the ego wants you to believe. Because in the physical realm, that's all the ego has to go on. But remember, you're being asked with this 704 number that, surprise, surprise, to acknowledge the divine intervention, the support that you do have, and the angels, the 444 angel number, the training wheels. You are supported in all the ways that truly matter. That's what it is to cultivate true trust. Trust is faith, and faith is a belief in the unseen. To trust in your strength, even though in a moment of needing or requiring extreme strength, could you connect with that within yourself? Don't limit yourself. Again, train horns. It's time to, be flexible. Allow yourself to expand. Remember the baby snake. Flowing with the breeze of life. Like a willow tree. That said, dear Goddess, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I would love to hear how it resonated with you. It most definitely with me. And of course, all the angel numbers too, 704, 717, and 444. And that said, I will definitely see you back here Saturday evening for Super Sign Sunday, which, yes, is published Saturday evenings so that I sign off on Sunday. And plus, I kind of like you to have it available. If you want to start your Sunday morning with it, boom, it's already published. Especially me being in Pacific time, so 7 a.m. would be like, 10 yours. Yeah, so. That said, dear sweet Goddess, go create amazing. The power to do so is in your hands. Because that power, it has always been inside you. Namaste.